going on, guys? Dad Dash back here again for another Think About It session. So I wanted to throw out a topic here and discuss it. And that's a topic right now that I just saw on Paid to Drive's channel. And I did borrow a couple screenshots from his presentation. So I'll throw them up just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But he had a very, very interesting piece where he was sent information from a subscriber who is in the Memphis market, and apparently they were beta testing, paying out a guarantee, and it was quite interesting. It actually was a better guarantee than what Grubhub does, because Grubhub, at least in my area, Grubhub guarantees $11 an hour, and there's a whole, you got to be on a shift, and you know, there's all sorts of little caveats. But DoorDash's was pretty much anytime you dash, as long as you accept 80% or more of the orders, and I think they said you can turn down like 1 out of every so many orders, as long as you maintain that and you're pretty much accepting almost every order, that they're going to guarantee that you get a minimum of $17 before tips, which is pretty extraordinary. So I want to kind of give my thoughts on this. As a multi-apper, as a cherry picker, that is my main approach. How do I feel about this? What would this change the way I dash? Would this change my approach? And the answer to that is yes, because I think that when I go back and look at my tips, I'm normally my tips are normally 3 to 1 to maybe 2.5 to 1 of my base pay right now with DoorDash. So now obviously that could change. All right, if I'm accepting every order, that could change drastically. And I'm sure DoorDash is running analytics and things to say, hey, well, if somebody is focused on accepting every order, you know, does the base pay go up exponentially when they're not cherry picking orders? And the answer to that, I'm sure, is a yes. But I believe, based on the data that I have of the last 8 months that I went back and looked at, that I think that dial probably moves closer to, say, 50%, 60%. So more of like maybe a 1.8 to 1. But I think it could be very, very lucrative, because I think that, let's say you're earning, you know, as in DoorDash's example that was posted on Pay to Drive's channel from the subscriber, they were touting $25 an hour. Now, my assumption would be here, and again, one commenter on that video said, well, DoorDash is going to be going in the negative. This is not going to be good. Well, what I would see DoorDash doing here, obviously, would be raising the fees, which are already very, very low compared to its competitors, because I myself will at least every 3 months will order personally from each of the apps. And I do that, and I recommend everybody consider doing that, simply to be up on the experience, the customer experience, because it's important to understand from the customer's perspective what they're experiencing on their end and what they're seeing on their end, so you can be prepared as a driver to understand what that experience is and what the different things you're doing, the impact is on that end, what the customer sees, doesn't see, is aware of, and isn't aware of. But in my opinion, I think that they would be offsetting, and that they would be probably increasing some of their fees, which isn't a bad idea as it is, and making some adjustments on their end to try to make sure that people are getting tipped. Now, I could also see that this is probably not going to necessarily be in the form that this beta test is, because I would imagine DoorDash is going to make this available in some way, form, or fashion that is going to require you to have a commitment with certain ratings. But of course, when they first come out the door, I can see them just saying, hey, you know what, everyone gets a chance at this, and to see if it makes an impact and if the overall ratings, acceptance rating stuff goes up. And then eventually, as anything DoorDash does, it'll probably get scaled back a little bit, and it'll eventually become something that requires top dasher status, or you to be on a schedule, and you've got to maintain certain overall ratings. So my thought on this is a move in the right direction in terms of giving you the option. Now, the key here and the main concern that I have here is maintaining the autonomy as a driver to have the choice to do so, and making sure that DoorDash does not jump into being, making this a requirement and saying, well, if you're going to work for us, this is what it's got to be. You've got to give the driver the chance to run their business how they want to run it. But this would certainly close the gap. This would certainly make them competitive. This would certainly force the hand of Uber and Grubhub to come up with their own version of this stuff to compete with this. So it's definitely intriguing. I think it's something that DoorDash, I think it's a good thing. I definitely think it's a good thing. So I applaud DoorDash for testing this. We'll see if it comes out and comes out to the broader market. I hope it does, because I think that if we knew that we could go out and make a minimum of $17 an hour at any point, that's going to be a good thing for the drivers to come out. That's going to get us out working, and that would certainly change my approach for certain, and make me reevaluate my strategy. So I think this is a great thing, and I think that this could be something this is a great sign for the drivers that DoorDash is listening, DoorDash is aware, and that DoorDash knows that it's got to get more competitive in its market, and it's got to start figuring out how to make this a better experience for the driver. So I think if they figure out that this does work and inspire the drivers to drive more, then I think DoorDash will be confident then and say, okay, they're going to drive more, we can up the fees more. And again, like I said, I think it'll all work out. I think the fees are already pretty low from the consumer side, and I think this would encourage them to say, you know what, let's increase the fees 20 or 30%. These no tippers are going to still be no tippers. And then, we win, they win, everybody wins when all the orders are being delivered because everyone's willing to drive. So guys, put your thoughts on. I'm interested to see anybody who watches this video. Tell me, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Is this good for the driver? Is this bad for the driver? And what would your strategy be? Would this adjust your strategy, or would you still stay a cherry picker if you're already one? Would you stay a multi-apper? Or would you be less likely to multi-app if you had this opportunity to know you were earning $17? And would you give your DoorDash shift more importance? All right, guys, as always, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We've got ride-along videos coming up. We've got another one up right now. So be on the lookout. We've got more discussion points, more tips and tricks, lots of big things going on here. Help me grow this channel so we can become a bigger contributor to the overall network of channels that are out there right now trying to help out gig business operators. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll be talking to you soon.